The type of cancer that I have is a blood cancer. It's not breast cancer, it's not lung cancer.
Okay, so hold on to your seats because things just went from messy to absolutely nuclear in the world of Danielle Bregoli, better known to the masses as Bhad Bhabie. And if you thought the "Cash Me Outside" girl was finished making your jaw drop, you clearly haven't been paying attention to the absolute firestorm that has been brewing over the last few years. We are currently witnessing what might be the most disturbing, high-stakes drama of her entire career, and I don't really know what to say except that it has transitioned from basic celebrity gossip to a straight-up investigation into life, death, and the ultimate internet receipts. For the better part of the last 2 years, the digital streets have been in a literal civil war over one massive, heavy question: is Bhad Bhabie actually battling a life-threatening illness, or is this the most elaborate clout chase we've ever seen? It's giving The Boy Who Cried Wolf, but with a medical twist that has everyone from suburban moms to the internet FBI losing their minds. Everything started to spiral back in late 2024, when Danielle was already under a microscope for her dramatic physical transformation. People were being ruthless, dragging her across every platform for looking too skinny or fragile, with the default narrative being that she had hopped on the Ozempic train like every other influencer in Hollywood. But Danielle, who has never been one to take a punch without swinging back twice as hard, finally snapped and dropped a bombshell that essentially broke the internet's collective brain. She posted a story stating that her weight loss wasn't a choice or a trend, but a side effect of her cancer medication. Suddenly, the girl we watched throw hands on Dr. Phil was a cancer patient in the eyes of the public, and the energy shifted from mockery to a very dark kind of skepticism. Instead of the wave of "get well soon" messages you'd expect for a 21-year-old mother, the internet did exactly what it does best: it doubted her. People called it a shield to hide plastic surgery or drug use, and even gossip veterans like Perez Hilton started questioning the validity of her claims.
That Bhad Bhabie is lying about having cancer for attention,
Leading to a receipts war that is still raging as we speak in April 2026. This is where the story gets really crazy, because Danielle didn't just stay silent or release a vague PR statement, she went full nuclear with the evidence. She decided to silence the truther movement by posting an actual photo of her monthly prescription documentation, and let me tell you, this wasn't just some over-the-counter supplement she picked up at a CVS. She shared a photo of a prescription for Semblix, also known as asciminib, which is a heavy-duty, targeted therapy medication used specifically for chronic myeloid leukemia, CML. And the part that really sent people into a tailspin? The price tag was a staggering $5,203.91 for a single month's supply. Danielle essentially asked the world why she would be paying over $5,000 a month for a drug that is delivered in a biohazard bag if she wasn't actually sick. She pointed out that taking chemotherapy-level drugs when you don't have cancer would be a literal death wish, and for a second, the haters went quiet. It was a moment of receipts that felt undeniable, yet the toxic cycle of her public persona meant that even with the papers in hand, people were looking for the fine print, trying to prove she'd photoshopped the date or the name. The reason the skepticism is so loud is because of what I like to call the Bhad Bhabie effect. For years, people have dragged her for being unhinged or manufactured, and they've watched her move wild through the industry, from her $50 million OnlyFans claims to her constant beefs with other rappers. When you've spent a decade building a brand on being the villain, people lose their empathy, and they start to view your life as a performance rather than a reality. This skepticism reached a fever pitch in early 2025 when Danielle, in the middle of this supposed cancer battle, went out and got a nose job. The internet absolutely lost it, claiming that no doctor would ever clear a leukemia patient for elective cosmetic surgery. The comments were relentless, accusing her of using a serious illness to distract from her vanity. But Danielle clapped back with her trademark energy, telling everyone to mind the business that pays you, and insisting her doctors gave her the green light. While the optics were arguably terrible, multiple verified sources, including TMZ, eventually reported that family insiders had confirmed the diagnosis was 100% real. You know things are getting serious when her mother, Barbara Bregoli, enters the chat. We all remember their incredibly rocky relationship from the early days, but Barbara has stepped up as Danielle's fiercest protector during this health crisis. She took to social media to slam the trolls, especially the high-profile ones, stating that nobody asks for cancer.
And talking about my daughter releasing on her Instagram story about her having cancer.
And that accusing someone of faking it for karma is the lowest form of humanity. Barbara even shared her own history with health struggles to show how thin someone can get when their body is under attack, trying to humanize the girl the internet loves to hate. It's a weird, full-circle moment for them. The mother and daughter who used to scream at each other on national television are now bonded by a survival struggle. It makes you realize that behind the jewelry, the cars, and the viral clips, there is a very real, very scared young woman who is trying to navigate a terminal diagnosis while being a new mother to her daughter, Callie Love. Speaking of motherhood, that's the part of this story that really makes the clout chase theory fall apart for a lot of people. Danielle welcomed Callie in early 2024, and insiders say that becoming a mom completely shifted her perspective on everything. She's no longer looking for the viral moment or the next big beef, she's looking to stay alive for her kid. She's been oddly quiet on social media compared to her usual self, focusing on the quiet moments at home rather than the club life. But even her domestic life has been a source of drama, with her relationship with her baby daddy, Luvon, being described as a toxic roller coaster. There have been allegations of abuse, leaked videos, and constant breakups, and many believe the stress of this relationship is only making her health worse. Some gossip circles even whispered that the initial cancer reveal was leaked during a fight to gain sympathy, but whether that's true or not, the medical reality of the Semblix receipts seems to outweigh the relationship drama. Now, as we sit here in April 2026, the situation has taken a somber turn. Just a few months ago, in February, Danielle posted a cryptic and heartbreaking update on X, saying she had received bad news from her doctor and was leaning on her faith because God has the last say. This hit the fan base differently than her previous clapbacks. This wasn't a F***CKU to the haters, it felt like a genuine plea for prayers. She hasn't gone into the specifics of what that bad news entails, but the rumor mill is spinning with theories that her medication might be failing or the cancer is progressing to a more aggressive phase. For a girl who has always been tough and unbothered, seeing her talk about her faith and her daughter in such a final way is a massive shift. It tells us that the PR team isn't running this show anymore, reality is finally catching up, and it's hitting way harder than anyone expected. If you're wondering why she doesn't just show more, like videos of her in the hospital or more medical charts, you have to ask yourself why we feel entitled to that in the first place. Is it because she's a celebrity? Or is it because we've become so desensitized to influencers faking things for clicks that we've lost our ability to believe in human suffering without a 4K live stream of it? When Kate Middleton had her health scare, the internet felt guilty for the rumors, but with Bhad Bhabie, the world seems to be cheering for a gotcha moment. It's a double standard that highlights just how much people despise the cash me outside persona. But the facts we do have are hard to ignore: the targeted therapy drugs, the confirmation from family sources, and the visible physical toll it has taken on her. She's not trying to be the bad girl anymore, she's just trying to be a survivor. The industry reaction has been a mix of stunned silence and wait and see. While she's still trying to work, dropping a few singles in late 2025 and scheduling some 2026 tour dates in the Pacific Northwest, the spark is clearly different. Her performances are shorter, her energy is lower, and the Bhad Bhabie mask seems to be slipping to reveal a very tired Danielle Bregoli. Insiders are saying she spent millions of dollars on her treatments and trying to keep her life private, which contradicts the idea that she's doing this for money. If she wanted money, she'd be doing more OnlyFans content or reality TV, not hiding away in Florida paying $5,000 a month for biohazard bag medication. The marriage between her public image and her private reality has finally crashed out in the messiest, most tragic way possible. So, where does this leave us? We're looking at a young woman who was thrust into fame for all the wrong reasons, who built a fortune on being the person everyone loved to judge, and who is now facing a literal life-and-death battle while the world watches with popcorn in hand. If this really is the end of the Bhad Bhabie era, it's a fallout that no PR team can spin their way out of. The bad news, from February 2026, suggests that the road ahead is incredibly steep, and as much as the internet wants to treat this like another episode of a reality show, the stakes are finally real. Whether you love her or hate her, you can't deny that she's a fighter, and if she manages to beat this, to come out on the other side of this leukemia battle and raise her daughter, it might just be the most incredible redemption arc in the history of viral fame. But until then, the rumors will keep swirling, the haters will keep doubting, and Danielle will keep fighting the only way she knows how, with her back against the wall and the receipts in her hand. At the end of the day, the audience's boredom with celebrity reveals has met its match in a story that is too dark to ignore. We've watched her move wild for a decade, and now we're watching her slow down, not because she wants to, but because she has to. The cash me outside girl is gone, replaced by a mother fighting for her life, and the irony is that the same internet that made her famous is now the one making her struggle 1,000 times harder. Trust me, once the full story of this 2026 setback comes out, it's going to hit the public consciousness in a way that makes all the previous drama look like child's play. This isn't just a breakup or a beef, it's a fallout that will define her legacy forever. Stay tuned, because the chaos isn't over, it's just entering its most serious chapter yet.